In this week's Mechanics Monday Tuesday, I know, I broke the deadline again, I'm sorry, but we'll talk about a set of fairly unknown character customization options. It's been more than a year since Mythic Odysseys of Theros came out. This 5th edition D&D sourcebook provides a framework for adventures in Theros, a setting imported directly from Magic the Gathering, featuring heavy influences by ancient Greek mythology. Most of you will know it for its races such as Leonines and Satyrs. Some of you will know also Eloquence Bards that hail from here. However, I'd be willing to bet only a small handful of you are aware of supernatural gifts all heroic adventurers of Theros possess. Now, these mechanics are all super flavorful, kind of setting specific, and largely based on the palpable presence of Theros' various deities and their constant meddling in the mortals' affairs. Still, nothing stops you from suggesting them to your DM or adapting them to your own homebrew settings and campaigns. But before you fulfill this video's heroic destiny in the endless realms of YouTube algorithm, let me briefly remind you about the Daenerys Rpg Kickstarter, an elaborate and extensive third-party 5th edition supplement bundle made by Dragori Games. Its rich lore, 4 new classes, extra spells and other character customization options, an arena PvP system, an entire pre-made adventure accompanied by awesome miniatures. All of this is playable either within the Daenerys setting itself or portable and usable in other D&D worlds. I've made 3 videos focusing specifically on the new classes, archetypes and spells found in the Daenerys free samples. Check them out after you finish watching this video. All the links are in the description below. If you're a DM who likes homebrews, supernatural gifts will almost certainly give you at least 1 or 2 ideas to create additional character customization options. Still, even the default ones are a good starting point because they give you a few more ideas on top of the boons and charms lists in Dungeon Master's Guide. At the very least, this list of standard 5th edition feats with a custom flavor, while somewhat stereotypical itself in the sense of a classic Greek hero archetype, provides inspiration to make the characters a bit more thematic or a bit less generic. But let's get to the good stuff, shall we? All the gifts come with a set of traits, mechanics, and a table with 6 different thematic characteristics. Some of them even have quirks, similar to ones you get from backgrounds. A few of them lean onto the piety system, which is basically a buffer of up to 50 points that provides additional benefits based on the deity of choice and the number of points you accumulated. That system can also be used as is or as inspiration in your own campaigns if you want to make the worship of gods actually not be just tied to myths, stories and role-playing bits. I won't go too deep into the benefits of the Theros' many gods, but I may revisit this piety system in a bit more detail in one of the future videos, like this one. So, first on the list, Anvilwrought borrows from the Eberron setting, more specifically from the Warforged race. The 2 traits are basically identical. While this copy-paste may seem a bit lazy on the surface, these abilities stem from the God of Forge itself, so they make sense to me and they are good, on its own. Heroic destiny is simple and straightforward. If you are destined for great things in the future, if you're that type of hero, you shouldn't just die like some ordinary chump. I can't wait to slap this one on that half-orc Way of the Long Death monk character that I called basically the unkillable. Iconoclast is essentially a defiant heretic who takes an active role against the deity's influence. It mentions the Theros piety system, though you're basically rejecting all things divine for the most part, so you can never really earn or even lose piety points. Though it mentions Leonines as typical heroes graced with this gift, I find it generally applicable to a vast array of martial characters. Specifically, being able to cast Dispel Magic even if only once a day can be clutch when dealing with high-level spellcasters, though I'd probably not limit it to wisdom only, but custom tailor it to specific characters' ability scores. For example, an Eldritch Knight fighter Iconoclast should probably be intelligence based to avoid extreme multiple ability score dependencies. At level 17 and beyond, Anti-Magic Field can completely shut down the enemy spellcasters, especially if you're a melee-oriented martial who likes to be in enemy's face. Inscrutable fortifies your mind against psychic damage and creatures that like to read other creatures' thoughts and emotions. While both are situational, I think pairing this with a high deception skill bonus can go a long way in tense social encounters and intrigue plots and schemes. Also, Also, dealing with mind flayers is gonna be less traumatic, let's just be honest about it. Lifelong Companion isn't that impressive compared to the rest of the lineup, especially since a lot of support-oriented characters already have one or a few ways of buffing allies' saving throws against frightened and charm conditions. Twilight Cleric, for example, straight up auto-deletes those conditions in a 30-foot radius. Still, taking a massive hit instead of a squishy wizard can be clutch at times, and keeping your nearby allies a little bit more focused on task at hand is redundant at worst, but also situationally could be game-changing at best. Nyxborn, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but this is basically kind of a thematically similar approach to, you know, the Aasimar race. It's more just broadly applicable, obviously, right? If you're a DM, you would probably change the name to whatever you call your own divine realm. Mechanically, Cloak of Stars is pretty decent, especially on squishy wizards and sorcerers on low levels. Necrotic damage resistance will probably come up here and there. Radiant not so much, at least not in my experience, unless the DM just enjoys constantly charming and possessing your paladin partymate and just constantly sends it against you. Oracle is probably one of the easiest supernatural gifts to incorporate into any campaign really, even with its dependence on the piety point system. An extra d10 on any ability check once per short rest, celestial language for the theme, a couple extra divination spells and a spellcasting ability score bump for any cleric, druid, wizard or artificer out there. This is just a bundle that's hard to pass unless you really don't want to be a resident prophecy machine. Pious, on the other hand, has no reservations about this. You're fully devoted to your deity with fervent, zealous conviction that molds your personality to the point of it being a big part of your identity, if not even the whole of it. The utility of this gift greatly depends on how important religion is in the campaign you're playing, but at the very least you get to reroll that failed saving throw against 50 fire damage coming out of the dragon's jaw. Unscarred is amazing on low levels and nearly useless past level 9 if not even sooner. It's basically the same as Goliath's Stone Endurance with slightly different wording. Compared to other gifts, it really seems weak, so I'd make it scale of at least half character level on top of what it already does. Sure, you can make it stack with Barbarian's Rage, Fighter's Second Wind or even the aforementioned Goliath's Stone Endurance, but once per short rest limitation is enough for it to never really feel even remotely overpowered. As I've already said a few minutes ago, I will probably come revisit Theros again at some point and go into more detail about the whole piety point system and the benefits it provides in relation to the 15 gods of Theros. Obviously, you can do something of your own, but it's a good starting point, it's a springboard of ideas. There's a little bit more than 24 hours left before the end of Historica Arcanum Kickstarter campaign, which is sponsoring this video. I've explored the free sample character options, the link to that video is in the description below. At this point it's quite a value purchase because a lot of stretch goals have been reached, so if your wallet allows, grab those D&D goodies. Special shoutouts to all of my current patrons, thank you for your continued support. If you haven't yet, please shower those like, subscribe and notification bell icons down below with all the supernatural gifts you can find. It helps even out the playing field with the YouTube algorithm deities. With everything said and done, me and Max Munchkin out and talk to you very soon.